Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Something a bit different this week, or this vid actually, so just going to do a bit of a gear review. I don't normally do a gear review, but I thought I'd just change up the content a little bit. So I'll just go through basically what I ride with gear wise, and just a quick insight into the camera gear that I use as well. So I've actually just bought a new vlogging camera, and I've bought the Canon M50, the mirrorless, so that's what I'm filming on at the moment, so just giving that a bit of a trial as well. Not too sure. I'm hoping that the light is okay for the camera and the lens to focus, because this is pretty much, the first test run sort of thing. So yeah, I've got an external mic hooked up as well, so hopefully you're not picking up too much road noise from the outside as well. Alright, well, start things off. We might even start just with the helmet. So I basically bought this from 99 Bikes. It is the Met Echo MIPS. Excuse me, the Met Echo MIPS. So obviously the MIPS system, got good protection for your head in there. Really comfortable and light, as you would expect, because it's quite. There's nothing really to it. Very light, and yeah, just extremely comfortable as well, which is exactly the two things that you are after for essentially a half-lid helmet. So 99 Bikes. I can't remember how much it cost me, but very happy with that purchase. So if you're in the market for a half lid, definitely recommend that one. Onto the gloves. We've got the Fox Ranger gloves. I mean, nothing really to these. Just simple Velcro sort of attachments. Like I just said, there's nothing really to them. Just a pretty basic sort of a glove. Really light. Riding. There's not too much wear. I've probably had these for probably longer than I've had that helmet actually, so there's not too much wear in them. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's essentially, I've probably had them for maybe, let's say 9+ months. So really comfortable. I've never found that they come undone or whatever. So, but they're the Fox Ranger gloves. Pretty lightweight. Nothing to them, like I said before. But if you're in the market for a new pair of gloves, they should be on your list because they're really good. Let's move on to the elbow pads. So the elbow pads I picked up just before I went to Tassie. So I took pretty much all this equipment with me because I didn't know what was available to hire down there. Plus, it's always good to bring your own gear. So I bought myself the Fox Enduro Pro. So just your basic. I guess they're not really basic actually. So just your elbow pad. Really comfortable. The only thing I did find that even after a full day of riding, even though they have these little rubber little pads, I suppose you'd say, like up for your bicep area so it doesn't slip, even after a full day of riding, I just found as though that they would slip a little bit because of your sweat and your moisture and stuff like that. So not too sure what could be done about that. The little rubber pads are pretty prominent, so I'm not too sure if they would be able to install more or have more laid out or whatever, but so that they are really good, and if you're in the market for some elbow pads, I would highly recommend those. Just be cautious of the fact that they do slide from time to time. Quick adjustment is not a problem, but something to be aware of. So they're the elbow pads. Moving on to the knee pads, which are the Fox Launch. So here's the elbow pad here. So they're essentially You have to put them on. Let me go back to the elbow pad. So they're just simple operation. Essentially just put them through your arm. You don't have to attach any Velcro or unattach. So they're not too bad. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, quite lightweight. Very, very good protection. Whereas your knee pads here, you actually have to, essentially take your shoes off to put these on. So these, even though they are Velcro, they're not, how would you say, they're not, like the Velcro isn't like standalone. It's I guess a tubular system. You put your leg through. What I've found with these is they're really good protection, really lightweight. But once again, with the full day of riding, just found, even though there is like some rubber up the top here, that the knee pad would eventually slide down with all the moisture and the sweat. So they are fixed or fastened just by the Velcro. I just found that, even if I did not necessarily over tighten, but tighten well the Velcro, the knee pad would still slide, which was a tiny bit annoying. I didn't really want to over tighten because, even when it was at a reasonable tightening, that when I did take them off, there was really, really like heavy compressions on my leg. So these are a large. I actually bought a large purely for the fact that I guess my thighs and my calves are a tiny bit bigger. So that's the reason behind that. I could down the size to a medium and see what that feels like when I'm in the market for a new pair. But they're quite well. They do the job. They're well protected. But that's probably my only observation, is they do leave pretty medium to heavy markings in your leg, sort of thing. So that's something to be wary of as well. But quite good protection. So if you are in the market, I can recommend these. They're not too bad. So yeah, just on my gear, like I really didn't used to wear any of this because well, without sounding too humbling, I never used to have any accidents, and I was like, why have I bought all this gear? And then all of a sudden, probably 2 or 3 weeks prior to me going down to Tassie, I know knee pads probably wouldn't have aided this or whatever, or prevented it, but I was coming down a rock chute, or a corner rather, at Castle Hill, and my leg, well, the bottom half of my right leg stood still, and everything above it went with the bike into the bush, and essentially, like, it was really severely like torsion twisted, I suppose, and that took me a couple of weeks to get over, and then when I finally did get back on the bike, I was pretty much kitted up with all this sort of stuff. So even though if you it's a great ride if you don't fall off or you don't have an accident, but you certainly would like to have some protection when you do fall off. And touch wood, I haven't fallen off since, but every time I go out on the bike now, I wear everything that I've just shown you, and I feel like a bit of a Michelin man. But hey, if you do come off, well then you're pretty much covered with, excuse the pun, with all your protection there. So do highly recommend using your gear, and don't be naive to think that it won't happen to you, because I guess you probably will find out the hard way once it does happen to you that you might be in recovery for a couple of weeks. Anyway, that's just a little bit of a spiel, my little blurb or whatever. So but anyway, just moving on to the camera gear. So I film, you don't really need to see this because it's just pretty generic, but I film with a GoPro 9 Black, and a friend of mine, Jules, JBJ MTB, he just gave me his old Windslayer, today, which I used, and I have checked the footage, and it looks as though that there wasn't any wind picked up at all during the footage. Right, so to finalise the vid, what I've got here is my pair of shoes that I've just upgraded to as well, which took to Derby as well, or Tassie. So basically I bought myself the 510 Adidas 510 Stealth. So the reason why I upgraded to a pair of mountain bike shoes, is because I used to ride with my Salomons, which I'm wearing at the moment. So they're obviously a hiking shoe, and I thought that there was enough, grip or a flat profile. I thought there was enough flat profile there on my soles of my shoes. But it wasn't until I would jump over things like the log jump on combi, and just generally get the back tire off the ground, where my Salomons would essentially raise or lift off the pedal. And someone suggested that I should look into investing into a mountain bike shoe, which I bought at the same time as I bought the Enduro Pro, the elbow pads. So, and I can highly recommend these, because I wore them around the tiles here at home, and it was almost like walking on a platform with Velcro. It was just so sticky, and ever since I've worn these, no complaints, obviously. Really comfortable, and that grip on the flat pedals, because I don't use clip-ins obviously, because these are sole shoes. No movement, no lift off the pedals, and just with everything that I've shown you, I think when you have this might sound a little bit silly, but when you have like gear that makes you feel comfortable on the bike, you're riding it, the experience is just so much better. And I've found that with the last couple of rides, being more confident, more comfortable. And today I rode with JBJ today, and like the adrenaline, we're at Bunya, and the adrenaline for me was at an all-time high, because I was just like riding pretty much at my limit, and loving every single second of it. And just having a really fun time on my bike these days, so I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, that might wrap it up for this vid. Just a quick, hopefully a review of my gear. I might leave a couple of links down below if you wanted to check them out. So that'll be it, guys, and as per usual, I'll see you around like a wheel. Alright, cheers, see ya.